For many countries, summer 2022 has been brutal.
Europe's facing one of its worst droughts in decades.
China authorities are battling one of the worst droughts seen in more than 50 years.
Strict water restrictions come into effect for millions of Californians.
Urge the international community not to ignore the devastating drought in East Africa.
Scientists say warmer and drier seasons are likely to become the norm. But the question is, have these past few months been the driest on record?
One measure of drought conditions used by scientists is based on the level of moisture in the soil.
Here is a map that shows how dry the world is since 2001. As you can see, there are more regions being marked red, meaning the soil have gotten drier. Most of Europe has experienced much drier weather this summer than the average for the period 2001 to 2016. The Rhine dropped to critically low levels this summer, causing shipping disruption.
Across the Atlantic, drought conditions in the western US have become the norm, with the region experiencing years of drier and hotter weather.
In a report published as the Nature magazine in February, scientists said the last 2 decades had seen the most extreme drought conditions in 1,200 years in the American West. And this summer, hotter and drier weather led to forest fires in several states. NASA satellite images show Lake Powell was at its lowest level since the 1960s.
In Africa, the situation was worse. UN warned 22 million people in the Horn of Africa could be at risk of starvation because of droughts.
In the east, China has experienced the longest heat wave since records began in the 1960s. The Yangtze River, one of the 2 mother rivers in China, forced to extreme low levels in 150 years. However, drought is not the only disaster in the summer of 2022.
Extremely persistent high pressure over that area of China and that region of Asia. We're talking about also La Nina. We're seeing a 3rd year in a row of La Nina, which is characterized by below normal temperatures in the equator region of the Pacific. Only happened about 3 times since 1950.
One direct reflection of El Niño is that people in northern China have suffered from severe flooding, and in Central and Southern Africa, there were severe flooding caused by abnormal rainfall this summer too.